Well, I just feel like I'm like in the castle of a fairy tale. Like I feel like a princess walking around here, except I'm not dressed like one.
Hi, we're Yvonne and Jeremy, and we're slow traveling the world on a budget.
Today, we drive further out and explore the southern city of Akhaltsikhe and the beautiful cave complexes of Vardzia. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to a brand new video. We're now in the city of Akhaltsikhe, and we're staying right next to the Rabati Castle. So we're about to hike up there and take a look. So we keep exploring paths that other people aren't on, and as a result, we keep hitting dead ends. Majorly restored back in 2012, and so I'm pretty sure it didn't look like this before. Maybe they restored it rather aggressively, but it's still very beautiful to walk around. I remember in first grade we had a castle project where we had to build our own castles, and I've always been really interested in castles. So that's why being in a castle or a fortress is really fun to me. It's fun to walk along the sides of these castle walls and just explore the different components of the castle. Honestly, there are a lot of different fortresses and castles here in Georgia because Georgia is a very old civilization with lots and lots of history. We're going inside the turret. Oh my gosh, you can go up. Usually Yvonne's the one that's more excited about things, but today it's my turn.
It's so cool to be up on this tower overlooking the entire castle because you can see the details. Pretty sure this is not what the castle was like back then. There were probably no restaurants, no hotels.
I think they overdid the renovations just a tad. There's just too much that looks a little bit too elaborate and intricate and well put together. So it would be more satisfying as a historical monument if there wasn't so much detail and it was just the parts that were already existing retouched rather than recreated.
Well, I just feel like I'm like in the castle of a fairy tale. Like I feel like a princess walking around here, except I'm not dressed like one. Part of me feels like this entire castle is like a maze where you go through an alleyway and then it connects to another alleyway and then it goes to another open space. So it's kind of fun. Like I imagine it would be really fun to play hide and seek here. We've made it. We're at the absolute tallest point of this entire castle. Somehow it feels the same as when I was down there, but it's okay. We're up here. We get to enjoy the view. Imagine we are royalty. This was way better than what I thought it would be. Although yes, it does feel like a little fake because so much of it is renovated and so much of it is so nice, but it makes me feel like I'm in a fairy tale. Just waving at the people down below.
You're what, your subjects? It was really fun exploring the Rabati Castle, but we're gonna head back to our hotel, get some rest, and get ready because tomorrow we have another big adventure. We're going to Vardzia and a few other landmarks along the way. So see you tomorrow. Good morning, everyone. It's a brand new day and we've driven an hour and a half southwest of Akhaltsikhe, and we're now visiting the Vardzia cave town. And we've just stopped off at this viewpoint off the side of the road as we're approaching it, and the caves look amazing. Apparently, legend has it that Vardzia got its name from the legendary Queen Tamar, who got lost in the caves and said Vardzia, which in Georgian language means, "Uncle, I am here." This cave complex is absolutely massive. There are more than 600 rooms on 13 different levels. So we're gonna drive up there and check it out. We're gonna go up the mountain now to visit the cave. All right.
We added an extra lorry to our ticket so we don't have to walk up. We get a private shuttle. Okay, it's only private because there's no one else, but it's only one lorry more. That was a short ride, but I'm sure it helped us immensely with our energy level and our body temperature. So it's gonna be a hot day and we're going to be exploring the caves today.
I just don't understand how they chose to carve these homes and these holes and these halls into this massive rock, and to accomplish that without modern day machinery. It's pretty incredible. This apparently was the stable for the horses. Apparently this hole right here was used as a water reservoir, but I don't know where they would have kept the water because I just feel like it would have flown right out.
Maybe this was actually a big hole, but they just blasted it open for us to see. I don't know. Or over time, maybe it eroded and parts of it got uncovered like this. But I can see this being a water reservoir.
And this chamber here is where you could find clay ovens for baking bread. Why, hello there. Welcome to my new cave home. So this is the cold room, so we can see lower parts where they probably stored different things to keep them cold. This looks like a little passageway that has been blocked off, so we can't explore where it goes. There's a maze of different railings and stairs to go down. Try to get up here.
So many rooms up here. I wonder if they ever get lost. We've definitely gotten lost already. Well, we're just seeing people at places and we're not sure how they got there. Well, we've only really seen like one side of it, but there is another side and it is a huge complex. Made this room. I'm just trying to imagine what life was like and how they built things like that. How do they do this? How did they do this? I don't know. How?
This room over here was the wine press, and as we know, Georgians are really big on wine. Every household has their homemade wine, and it's even claimed that wine was invented here in Georgia, and so there's definitely a need for a wine press.
It's 4 stories high.
This place is seriously like a maze. I don't know where we're going next or how we're getting there.
All right, there's a church up here too, but we can't go in because we're wearing shorts.
Several people have told us to come into this tunnel, and it's suddenly very cold in here. There's like a natural spring in here.
So I think this right here is the water from the spring. It tastes like normal water. It tastes good. There's no minerals. Oh wow, I can't even stand up straight.
It's a crawl space.
It's a crawl space. It's like a secret tunnel.
Yeah, it seems like it. It's kind of cool.
So after visiting the spring, we kind of went into this tunnel and we kind of crawled up this tunnel. And maybe I might be wrong, but I feel like this is probably the highest point of this entire complex. You have definitely a very nice view up here. You see the rivers, you see the mountains, you see our cars down there. So very, very cool. So up here I see some barbed wire up at the top. I think they're there just to prevent the rocks from falling down onto the tourists. I really, really can't imagine how much effort it took. Just that tunnel that we just climbed up, I think that's very, very impressive. They're essentially carving their way into these rocks without knowing where they're going. Somehow they just made it work.
So we've stumbled upon another secret tunnel. Against our better judgment, we're gonna go up.
So we went near the church to go through a tunnel to go all the way up, and then we descended and it connects back to the main path. This place is huge.
Just when we thought we were done, we're not. An employee told us there's another side and another secret tunnel all the way through. And I can see a lot of the tourist buses from the day trippers coming from Tbilisi are just arriving. So we've come at a really nice time. Vardzia opens at 10, but coming early in the morning allows you to walk around in peace by yourself. There are a lot of other visitors here, but this place is so expansive that it's felt like we've gotten the place to ourselves, just walking at our own pace. I can definitely see why they chose to make this their cave dwelling. The canyon and valley views are just gorgeous as you look out from pretty much any room in this entire complex.
This is really steep. Kind of narrow, so I have to be careful.
Now to go back down, we have to go through another narrow tunnel with some pretty steep steps.
Almost twisted my ankle.
After that one tunnel, we keep looking for secret tunnels, but then all of the tunnels that we find are relatively short and anticlimactic, so we'll keep looking. This might be the actual secret tunnel that's being referred to, but it looks like just a way to go down. These are some pretty big steps. This is going all the way down. So overall, Vardzia is a ton of fun. It may be slightly challenging for people with mobility issues, but generally for kids even, it's really interesting exploring all the different passageways and all the different views of the cave town. And it's rather elaborate with lots of good explanations. Definitely recommend coming early in the morning, as afternoon hits, a lot more buses started coming through. But before you actually get to the parking lot, there's actually a pullout where you can see a panoramic view of the caves. Definitely stop there if you can. You'll be able to see the cave complex in its entirety, and it's a much, much better view. And then once you pay for your ticket, pay the extra 2 lari to take the bus up the side of the hill. It'll save you a lot of time and energy.
From a distance, it just looks like little holes in rocks, but once you're up there, it's actually really, really impressive. So I really appreciate it a lot.
Now, just 3 kilometers up the road from Vardzia, there's actually another cave complex called Vanis Kvabebi. And if you look at the cave complex, it's actually quite beautiful. There are like grasses and more vegetation around these caves, but it's actually temporarily closed. So the guard told us that we could walk up a little bit and take photos, but we can't go into the caves themselves. So we're just gonna walk up the path a little bit and just see what we can find. It seems like summer of 2022, they're doing some restoration work on Vanis Kvabebi. So if you come here in the near future, you can walk around a little bit towards the bottom, but hopefully in a few months, it'll be ready to go and you can go in and look around too. It offers stunning views of the surrounding canyon valley as well. On the way to and from Vardzia, there's the Khertvisi Fortress, which stands perched on a hill. So we're gonna go up and take a look before we head back and get some rest. So I imagine that the way that they restored this is by putting some concrete in between these stones here to make sure that they stay intact and they don't slide off. But apparently this fortress saw some battles as far back as Alexander the Great. That's a really, really long time ago.
Oh my gosh, I might be walking the same paths as Alexander the Great. That's crazy. Do you guys ever think about that, where these places that you go, like all these like historical people that you read about in books, and you're walking the same paths? Isn't that crazy?
So these towers, unlike the ones that we visited yesterday at the Rabati Castle, are not filled in, so there's just a ground floor. You can't go all the way up into the top. So you can tell this is more authentic and probably closer to the condition that it was originally in. This is where we are, up on the fortress, and if you look down, oh my goodness, we're actually quite high up. So honestly, it's a lot of fun to walk through this fortress, but there isn't actually that much to see. And if you want to see better views of the fortress itself, it's probably actually best to be at a distance so you could see it standing on top of a hill. We're back in Akhaltsikhe and it's just before sunset, and we were headed to the St. Marine Church, which supposedly has a nice view of the castle and fortress here in Akhaltsikhe, the Rabati Castle, which we visited yesterday. But actually, going up to the church, I found that the view was rather obstructed. So now we're headed down to another viewpoint to see if we can get a better sunset view. And I gotta say, no matter what you think of the castle and the renovations done at sunset, it's still a very, very beautiful sight to behold. So this is the end of our second video in our Georgian road trip series. We'll be back as we continue further on our road trip in the next video. See you then. What are you doing? Why are you twirling?
I'm trying to be a Disney princess.
Oh, hi.
It's like, this is what I imagine the bottom of a porta potty looks like.
Huh?
Doesn't it like... I'm ruining this fortress. Can you imagine it like a porta potty on the top and